Welcome to the 868th meeting of the Regular HDC meeting of the City of Laurel. The qualifications of the members of the commission, the staff to the commission, and any consultants used are on file with the city and are hereby made a part of each and every application heard today. The guidelines and procedures adopted by the commission are also made a part of each and every application. Each application heard today is considered on its own merits and is not to be considered as establishing a precedent for any other application. Because this is a Zoom meeting, would you please state your name before you speak? Item number 1 on the agenda is the roll call. Brooke, would you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Cole, Ms. McSeany,
Here.
Ms. Snyder,
Here.
Ms. Frazier, Mr. Schweitzer,
Here.
Ms. Les.
Here.
You have a quorum, Madam Chairwoman.
Thank you, Brooke. Item 2, approval of the minutes for the regular HDC meeting held on February 13th, 2024. Are there any corrections or comments?
Madam Chairman, I'd like to move that we accept the minutes as presented.
Thank you, Ms. Snyder. Do I hear a second?
This is Mary Eileen. I'll second.
Brooke, we have a motion to approve the minutes and a second from Mrs. Les. Would you call the roll, please?
Ms. Snyder,
Yes.
Ms. Les,
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes.
Ms. McSeany.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item number 3, HDC 2024-0067 for 600 Montgomery Street. This item was tabled at the last meeting. Would staff like to present their report?
Excuse me. Good evening, Madam Chair and Commission members. This is Emily Klein-Gibson with ECD presenting the staff report. The applicant is seeking Historic District Commission approval to install a fence located in the front of the property. This application was tabled at the February 13th, 2024 HDC meeting. The applicant has modified their original proposal and is now proposing to install a 3.5-foot tall fence around the front yard of the property, not to include the parking pad. The proposed wooden fence will be white in color and will include 3 gates, each 3.5 feet tall. 2 of the gates will be located on both sides of the yard, and the 3rd gate will be located in the front at the end of the walkway. This gate will have a 7-foot tall white wooden arbor attached to it. Additionally, the applicant proposes to extend the right side of the fence 20 feet out from the end of the yard to the beginning of the sidewalk, which the applicant states will protect their property from unwanted pedestrians and vehicles. Staff recommends HDC approve certificate number 2024-0067 with the condition that the applicant shall obtain a City of Laurel fence permit. This concludes the reading of the report. I just want to note that this is what the applicant and I had agreed upon for the fence layout. However, there are a total of 3 different fence layouts included with the application because the applicant is open to several options. I believe the applicant was planning on coming, however, I don't see them online, but I'm available for any questions. Thank you.
Emily, can we go back to the picture that shows the house with the parking pad? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, right
Okay.
there.
So over here on where the picnic table and chairs are, on that side, is that where the applicant is talking about extending the fence beyond the grass up onto the parking pad?
Thank you for the question. This is Emily Klein Gibson. Yes, so based on this photo, as you can see, there's a driveway that kind of goes right along his property. He would like to basically end the fence where the grass ends, but basically have a line of fence going up where the photo cuts off up the driveway. He's been having issues with cars using that driveway to access the parking pad.
So he's still talking about extending the fence up on the parking pad.
That is correct, yes. It's not a complete enclosure like the previous application. It would just be a single line of fencing, basically just to block that access.
Well, when you say block the access, I would think to block the access, he would be taking it from the grass over to the building.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because if he ran it along the grass line, that still leaves that pad open.
This is Emily Klein Gibson. I'm not quite sure.
If I may add, it looks like he has joined the meeting.
Mr. Vu?
Yes,
Hi, yes, we're discussing your application. Would you like to further explain?
about the fence.
Yes, I believe the commissioners had a question about the exact placement.
Okay.
If we go back to the application as read, I thought it said that the applicant had changed what he wanted to do and he would not be coming up onto the pad.
This is Emily Klein Gibson. It would not be
Not to
enclosing the parking-
include the parking pad.
Yes, it would not be enclosing. The applicant proposes to enclose just the front grass area. The parking pad would remain unenclosed. However, there would just be a strip of fencing just on the right side from the end of the grass to the beginning of the sidewalk.
Well, then it's on the parking pad. Am I missing something here?
If I can interject, if Brooke can go back to that first plat that we have, Ms. Gale, I believe that would show you exactly what he's doing right there. That go down some, yeah, right there. If you look up at the top, go down a little bit so we can see the upper half of the plat right there. If you look at that, Ms. Gale, he's not enclosing. What he's doing is he's going actually perpendicular to the parking pad. He's not enclosing the whole thing. I believe that he's going to the point where you can still walk across it, but you can't drive cars through it. So
Yeah, but in the application, it says not to include the parking pad.
okay, we can go back to clarify if that's true or not.
Okay, I see what you said, that last sentence.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now, if it's possible, can Ms. Klein or the applicant clear that up right now, or would that still be an issue to you?
No, I mean, you know, he could tell us, but you know what, because I feel like the application is saying one thing, but he's saying another.
Yes, and I do believe that if Ms. Klein and Mr. Vu can clear that up for Ms. Gale, and we can move forward.
Yes,
Okay.
this is Emily Klein Gibson. I'll just quickly say here, that must be just a misstatement on my part for the staff report. I meant to say enclose, not to include the parking pad will be enclosed. But yeah, technically you're correct. Part of the parking pad will have fencing installed on it.
Well, if that's the case, that's where I have a problem with it. I mean,
And Ms. Gale, if I can interject again, this is Deputy Director. Mr. Vu, from my understanding, is open to changing anything to compromise or get a resolution to getting the fence up. He definitely want one, but if you're not believing that you will approve it that way, he is up to making changes.
well, if we can, you know, I understand his issue. I absolutely do. And so when we're looking at this picture,
Yeah, the fence would go straight down.
Right.
yes.
Yeah, straight down.
So the way I understand it, he's trying to close off the access to this driveway, correct?
No, I don't believe so. I think what he's doing, he's trying to close it off from, there's a church next door, which I believe is a church. They come off of that the street and go along his driveway to get to their parking pad. And I believe what he wants to do is stop them from going over his property. So what he's doing is just lining it up straight down, but you could still walk across it. You won't be able to drive across it. So that's what he's trying to stop citizens from doing.
Right. I mean, I've gone past, first of all, I've lived by this property my entire life, as most of us have. And I just cannot picture that fence going up onto that parking pad and people walking down the sidewalk or the park, and then all of a sudden stop for this fence. And on that whole side of the block, there are no fences. I myself am 100% agreeable for him to put a fence around the grass area, and even if he had to, across to this building, but not further than the grass. That's just me.
So this is Miss McSaney. So he doesn't own that driveway, so he can't block off the driveway. It seems like he is trying to stop people from driving from 6th Street through his driveway to the driveway between his property and the adjacent property. Do you have a suggestion?
Chairwoman Marcy, if I can interject, the plat shows that he does own the sidewalk. Some plats.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying the driveway that runs between his property and that building.
Correct. I stand correct.
Okay.
Apologize for that. Apologize.
So I'm asking Ms. Snyder if she has a suggestion for something that will enable him to protect his paved area from these people who think it's a public thoroughfare.
No, I don't have a suggestion. I mean, if we're looking at this picture, I'm not good with the blueprint pictures, so,
Easter.
but if we're looking at this picture, if we can look at this picture and tell me where that one piece of the fence would come up to.
So this is Chairman McSeany. So the fence, if you look at the right side of his property, it's going to come along that long driveway that is between the two properties, and it will continue past the lawn to the sidewalk. Not, it will divide the two paved areas so that where the dry cleaners used to be, which apparently is now a church, will not have access to the homeowner's paved area. But pedestrians will be able to continue across. It won't block the sidewalk. It will just divide the parking area.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Oh, okay. Wait, and I don't think it's going to look great, but I can understand the homeowner's problem.
I understand the homeowner's problem too, but he knew that when he bought the property. I
Maybe.
just think that having that fence stick out all the way up there like that, it just doesn't even make sense to me as far as being in the historic district. I understand the whole grassy area, but I don't understand fencing in pavement.
Can I have explain?
Oh, by all means. Please.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay.
Welcome.
The neighbors, they rent the like multiple house. So a lot of tenants, they live there. Not one, many. So they drive to my property, my driveway, my private driveway all day. Even they use Uber and they stop on my driveway. So I use the fence straight from the lawn out to the sidewalk to prevent them to drive through my driveway. I cannot have to stop them drive every day. A lot of people live in my neighborhoods. They rent the house. They share the room. So that's the problem.
Thank you. Are there any other comments or motions or suggestions?
So I apply for the fence enclose the lawn. But if they allow me to do the extension straight out to the sidewalk, it's okay. But it's not, it's okay too.
I'm not sure I understand what you say about the driveway. Are you saying that the driveway is your property?
Yeah, this is my property.
The driveway between the grass and the building?
No. The driveway in front of the house.
Okay.
Not the driveway between the building. I said the front driveway.
Right.
This is my private driveway.
The whole cement parking pad is your driveway.
Yes, in front.
Okay.
I'm sorry, this is It's Mr. Schweitzer. So he's saying the area where the sidewalk is, in front of the front yard where the grass is, and that large area there is all his property?
Yes,
There's a curb, the street.
it's not all the way to the street. There is sidewalk there.
Yeah,
So that is not his,
okay.
but the rest of the paved area is.
And he wants to extend the fence,
From his lawn the side of the sidewalk that is adjacent to his paved area. So if you are a pedestrian, you know, there's no fence to go around or anything. He just wants to keep his neighbors from using what is his
is.
driveway.
So like that first, if you, I see the walkway to the front steps. So you're talking about that first big block area in front of the grass.
I think Greg, I think she's talking about the fence coming all the way down to this piece of sidewalk that we see at the bottom where the grass is around it. He wants that fence to come all the way down to there.
Mr. Schweitzer, if I can say, from the end of the beginning of the grass and 20 feet up, the applicant owns. So he will be, if allowed, he will be doing a fence parallel to the
Grass.
yes.
So
Yeah,
20 feet out from
yeah,
the
from
the
the
grass.
Yes.
That's a long way.
He owns 20 feet. Yes.
Yes,
And
it
that's
is a
not
long
public
way.
sidewalk there.
No, that's his side. And then
Mhm.
around it, you know, that's where we trying to he'll still be able to let people walk around it, but he owns 20 feet from the end of the grass.
Okay, and going westbound towards the sidewalk there where the fire hydrant is, it would stop and go along the grass and free up the sidewalk?
Yes, he basically will probably follow that outline.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So it's gonna come down this
Yeah,
way.
but the arm that will go parallel would just be one single. It won't go all the way around because he's made many options, and the last option was to just go parallel to the driveway in between. So it would just have one single line going down. It
Are,
won't be a boundary.
are people driving from Montgomery Street to Park Avenue cutting through there? Is that one of his problems? That he's
Well, I
having?
believe his problem is, if you look at that commercial building next door, people
Yeah.
actually use his concrete pad to drive over there. So what he's trying to do is deter them.
I see.
And yeah,
Mhm.
I see.
Yeah, but
Okay.
aren't they still going to have access from the crosswalk here to go up onto that pad?
yes, ma'am. They should still have access to go around it because he's not actually outlining the whole you know, the boundaries of his lot. He's just using that arm. And I believe the people next door are able still without going through his driving pad to get to that commercial spot. Location, I'm sorry. Next door.
I don't know.
I just don't understand what he's really gaining. I'm ready to make a motion if you want a motion.
That would be great.
I move that we approve the applicant's request to put a fence up around the grassy area of his property. That's my motion.
Hello.
Yes.
Can you suggest how to prevent my neighbors driving to my property? They drive every day. They park their car on my property too. How to prevent it? I call the police, or I don't think the police can solve this problem.
I agree with you that, you know, it's, you own that property and you're trying to protect your driveway from interlopers, and you can't be calling a tow truck 5
But
times.
Madam Chairman, I just don't understand this. They can still drive up on the pad from 6th Street or Montgomery Street, correct?
Okay, so theoretically, yes, they could, just like people could drive up, you know, my driveway or my mother's driveway. People are, you know, you can do that, but, you know, it's not right next to a commercial building where, you know, Uber is dropping people off, you know, and if somebody came and started doing that, you know, I would probably post no trespassing signs or be, you know, sit out there and tell people to turn around, that it's not a public right of way. You know, his area is not a public right of way. The building next door has its own parking area, and that's where they need to park.
Yes,
Just because,
they have their own parking, and they accept their own driveway, but they try to drive through my private driveway. They keep trying to do that. So I do the extension fence to remind them that this is my property, and then they can use their own to drive.
I have a question. Do you park your car on that piece of driveway?
Yes, I can park my car. Even I do the extension fence on the concrete parking driveway. The problem is if just one person drive it, I can, you know, ignore it. But a lot of people live next to my house in that building, and their friends come in, their relatives, many. So when you stay at home, you see that sometimes you see it. A lot of people drive through a driveway. How do you feel? And one day it damaged. Who pay for that?
so, I mean, lacking, you know, building a stone wall across the paved area, you know, I think a fence is not a bad solution at all. That's my opinion.
I don't need to extension 20 feet. I just need to extension about 12 feet, and that's enough for them to not, you know, driving through my driveway.
All right.
12 feet is okay.
So we've had a motion to approve a fence, but only around the lawn area of the house. Do we have a second, or do we have a different motion?
I'll second Gail's motion. Ms. Snyder's motion. Mr. Schweitzer.
Okay, Brooke, we have a motion to approve an amended application, only the grassy area of the property. And a second. Would you call the roll, please?
Ms. Snyder,
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes.
Ms. Les,
Yes.
Ms. McSeany.
No.
Motion carries.
Okay, I am sorry, sir, we did not approve the extension of the fence into the paved area.
that's
perhaps we can come up with another solution.
okay. That's okay too.
Have a good evening. Oh, sorry, agenda item number 4, HDC 2024-0060 for 204 Main Street. An application for a new sign. Would staff like to present their report?
Good evening, Madam Chair and Commission members. This is Emily Klein Gibson with ECD presenting the staff report. The applicant is seeking Historic District Commission approval to install a wall sign on the front of the property. The proposed sign will be 30 by 120 inches in size and will read Laurel Dentist 301-725-4884 in black letters on a white background. The proposed sign will be rectangular shaped with inverted corners and made of MDO 1/2 inch plywood material. The proposed sign will be placed above the existing awning over the front door. Staff recommends HDC approve certificate number 2024-0060 with the following conditions. The applicant shall obtain a City of Laurel sign permit. This concludes the reading of the report. I do not see the applicant online, but I'm available for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any questions or comments? If not, a motion?
This is Mr. Schweitzer. I make a motion we approve the sign for Main Street.
So did you have to say what the process that I was doing? Yeah.
This is Miss
sorry.
Les, I second.
Brooke, we have a motion to approve the sign and a second. Would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes.
Miss Les,
Yes.
Miss Snyder,
Yes, I'm assuming that they did approve the proof. That's down at the bottom of the picture.
This is Emily Klein Gibson. The applicant did submit this with their application, so they have reviewed this proof.
I'm sorry, say that they did approve it?
Yes, this is Emily Klein Gibson. This is what the applicant submitted with their application. So they have reviewed and approved of this proof.
Okay. Thank you. So then, yes, I vote yes. Sorry.
thank you. Ms. McSeany,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. Agenda item number 5, HDC 2024-0085 for 216 Main Street, submitted by Tony Shannon. It's another sign request for a barber shop. Would staff like to present their report?
Good evening, Madam Chair and Commission members. This is Emily Klein Gibson with ECD presenting the staff report. The applicant is seeking Historic District Commission approval to install signage on the property. The first proposed window sign will be white in color and made of vinyl material. The proposed sign will read Professional Hair Doctors on top and PhD below, and will be a total of 19.5 by 36 inches in size. The second proposed wall sign will be 18 by 72 inches in size and will read Barbershop in black letters on a white background. The proposed sign will be rectangular shaped with inverted corners and made of 1/2 inch MDO plywood. The proposed sign will be located centered along the facade. Staff recommends HDC approve certificate number 2024-0085 with the following condition. The applicant shall obtain a City of Laurel sign permit. This concludes the reading of the report. The applicant is online and I'm available for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any comments or questions?
Not at all.
This is Mr. Schweitzer. I make a motion we approve the sign.
Ms. Les, I'll second.
Thank you. We have a motion to approve and a second. Brooke, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes.
Miss Les,
Yes.
Miss Snyder,
Yes,
Ms. McSeany,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. Good luck with your new business, Mr. Shannon. Item number 6, HDC 2024-0086 for 328 Montgomery Street. The applicant is seeking permission for a new roof. Would staff like to present their report?
Yes, good evening, Madam Chair, and fellow HDC members. This is Deputy Director Monte Burrows. I will be reading for Planner 1, Taylor Harvey, in her absence. The applicant is seeking HDC approval to replace the existing roof on the house. The applicant proposes to replace the existing 3-tab shingles with architectural style shingles. The proposed color will be similar to the existing color, which is Fox Hollow Gray. The proposed work will include replacing damaged sheeting or plywood and installation. Staff recommends HDC approved certificate number HDC 2024-0086. The applicant should be on the call for any questions. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments? Motions?
Madam Chairman, I move that we approve the application as presented.
Thank you. Do I hear, thank you, Ms. Snyder. Could I have a second?
It's Mr. Schweitzer, I second.
Ms. Les, I'll second.
Brooke, we have a motion from Ms. Schneider and a second by Mr. Schweitzer. Would you call the roll, please?
Miss Snyder,
Yes,
Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes.
Miss Les,
Yes.
Ms. McSeany,
Yes.
Hi,
Motion
Miss
carries.
Les. This
What
is
did you
Rachel
say?
Miller. I said, hello, Miss Les. It's Rachel Miller.
Oh, hi, Rachel. How are you?
I appreciate the approval. Mom's house needs a new roof.
Well, I hope it keeps.
I know what house that is. That's my friend Margaret's house.
Yes.
Yes.
So my kids are living there. We need a new roof. So I really appreciate the approval.
Well, just I think about her every time I walk past.
Oh, well, thank you.
The flower lady.
Yes.
Thank you. And I'm not sure where we were. So the motion carried, right? Is
Yes.
that where we are, Brooke?
yes, correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Enjoy the dry.
Thank you.
Okay, we had 2 staff approvals and a tax credit. And that is all that's left on our agenda. Is there anything else from anyone?
I have a reminder from the city administrator's office
Okay.
to turn in your financial disclosure forms if you received
Thank
one.
you.
Laura is requesting them back.
Okay. Could I hear a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Schweitzer, I make the motion, we adjourn.
Great. See you in April.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
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 Thank you.